It's that time of year when sports fans gather to cheer on their favorite teams.
Super Party Menu.
My sweet potato football's even ready for the game. But what to serve this high-spirited crowd?
Super Party Menu.
There's no need to fear. My Super Party Menu is here.
Jazzy, you're gonna be healthy with the Jazzy vegetarian. Jazzy, so snazzy. We're gonna cook something healthy and light. Jazzy, so snazzy.
So join me in the kitchen right now.
We're gonna cook something healthy and light.
That's right. Today, I'll prepare a crowd-pleasing menu that's ideal to serve at any fun-filled gathering. First up, my easy oven-baked 2-bean chili satisfies big appetites with a bit of heat and hearty flavor. Then Jazzy Potato Skins are sure to shine, and no one will ever suspect that they're a vegan version of this classic American snack. Sweet and salty almonds always gratify, and Mom's Turtle Cookie Squares are a welcome finish to this super party lineup. So stay with us as we kick off the show. When that time of year comes around, and you've got the guys and the gals crowding around the TV set, and they want some snacks or a little bit of food, this is the perfect menu for you. Now, I am not the biggest sports fan, but I do appreciate the sport. As a matter of fact, I do have a history with the Super Bowl. Many years ago, my band was playing, and some executives from the Super Bowl happened to be in the audience. They asked us to play at the Super Bowl party, and we were off to New Orleans and singing at the Super Bowl. So we're starting off with Mom's Turtle Cookies. This is a vegan version of a cookie that my mom has been making for many, many years. She makes it at holiday time, so you may want to add this recipe to your holiday lineup, but it's also perfect to serve at this kind of gathering. You can serve it any time of year. Easy to make as well. Here's how we get started. We're going to take our blender. We're going to add in half a cup of vegan margarine, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of whole wheat flour. That is going to be our crust. There we go. That's the perfect consistency. Toss that right in the pan. I'm putting this into an 8x12 non-stick baking pan. You want a nice size rim on it. You'll see why. Just want to press this first layer in an even layer over the bottom of the pan. Mom's been making these for years. So about 4 or 5 years ago, Mom and I put together a vegan version, which is what I'm sharing with you today. They taste just like the real thing. You can't even tell the difference. Let me wash off my hands. So I've got my crust in the pan, and now I've got 1 cup of pecan halves. So you're just gonna kind of get these pecans in somewhat of an even layer over your turtle cookie crust. So let's get over here to our filling. I've got 2/3 of a cup of vegan margarine melting here on the stove. So I'm going to turn this up to a medium-low heat. And then I'm going to add 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Cook this over the medium-low heat, stirring it constantly until the mixture starts to bubble. It takes about a minute. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the brown sugar is getting completely dissolved into the vegan margarine. You see that? We started off with sugar and vegan margarine. Now we have a nice, almost creamy filling for our vegan turtle cookies. Yes, that's ready to go. See how that's bubbling just slightly? You don't want to let it go past that. Now be very, very careful. This is piping hot. You're going to evenly pour this filling over the top of your pecans. Pour it as evenly as you possibly can so it gets all over the top of that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's gooey. That's delicious. That is absolutely fantastic. Oh my gosh. So how does it look?
Jazzylicious.
It is Jazzylicious. I've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm gonna bake this for 18 to 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna add my surprise right on top. Let's get these into the oven right now. Oven-baked 2-bean chili. It's so perfect to make when you have friends or family, but it's really great just for a weeknight meal because all you need to do is throw it in the casserole, put it in the oven, and about 50 minutes later, it is done and ready to serve. So this recipe is in my cookbook. And I'm starting off with 1 can, that's 15 ounces of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I've rinsed them, I've drained them very well. 1 can, about 15 ounces of black beans, rinsed and drained well. Then, to jazz it up just a little bit, 2 medium sweet onions, chopped. Sweet onions, yellow onions, boiling onions, Spanish onions, red onions, 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 onions. Onions make such a great base flavor for soups and for stews, and you can roast them in the oven till they get all caramely. Onions are also great raw. I recommend using sweet or Vidalia onions if you're having a salad or a sandwich. And of course, the yellow onions are great in any recipe that you may be cooking. Today, I've chopped it up and used it as the base flavor in my recipe. Onions are great just about any time. I have 2 medium sweet onions. They're chopped fine. And then we gotta have some spice to make it really nice. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, and then about 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. A little more, a little less. You got a crowd that likes it really spicy, throw more of that cayenne pepper in there. And then 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 heaping tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. We're adding 1/3 cup of organic ketchup. We're gonna put this into a 375-degree oven. We're gonna cover it tightly. We're gonna bake it for about 45 minutes to an hour. Do check it halfway through. If you need a little bit more of your sauce, add a little more ketchup, a little more molasses. That's all you need to do. Let's put it into our casserole. This is easily doubled, tripled, or quadrupled to feed a big crowd. Instant chili that bakes in the oven. What could be easier? What's easier is you find it in my cookbook. It's going to tell you exactly how to make it. I'm going to cover it tightly. I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees. I'm going to put it in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. Do check it halfway through. If it's getting a little bit dry, add a little bit more ketchup or a little bit more of that blackstrap molasses. Let's get it in the oven now, and let's check on our turtle cookies. I smell them cooking.
I got the turtle cookie blues. Turtle cookies. I gotta make some turtle cookies now. Turtle cookies. Turtle cookies. Cooking right now.
All right, this is sizzling hot. Beautiful turtle cookie squares. And here's the surprise. Got 1 3/4 cups of vegan chocolate chips. And you want to immediately pour them right over the top of your piping hot cookie crust. You see how the piping hot caramel on the top is melting them. You see how that's just melting? And it's making a beautiful instant icing for the top of our turtle cookies. Wow, look at that. Woo! I love it, love it, love it. We're gonna let this cool for at least 30 minutes if you can keep husband and kids away from it. And then we're gonna cut them into squares. I do like to store them in the refrigerator, tightly covered, but I'm telling you one thing for sure, you're not gonna have any left over. So, up next, we're really having a party because we're gonna make my Jazzy Potato Skins. Bet you can't wait for that. I know I'm looking forward to it, so stick around. And it's halftime.
2-bean casserole, bake
the halftime entertainment, kicking off my Jazzy Potato Skins with my sweet potato football. Oh, yeah. These are kind of like those potato skins you get at various fast food restaurants, but of course they are vegan. So what I have done is I have baked 3 large russet potatoes. We've baked them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 1 hour. Just want to scrub your potato very well, put it in the center rack of the oven. Don't wrap it in any foil, and just bake it until it's kind of soft to the touch. I got my trusty grapefruit spoon. It's just perfect with a serrated edge for this. I'm going to mark out where I'm going to dig out the pulp of the potato, leaving about 1/4 inch of the potato skin intact. After all, you're going to stuff these skins. I've got one more to do here. And make sure you don't poke a hole in the bottom of the potato skin. Otherwise, all your fillings are going to come out. So I'm just going to scrape that pulp right in there. You want to save this potato pulp. You can use it to make a potato soup tomorrow. Just take this potato pulp, put it in the blender with a little bit of non-dairy milk, some spices to your liking, blend it up, heat it up on the stove. You've got a quick and nutritious potato soup. It's a great little jazzy tip. So I've got my Jazzy Potato Skins. Let me just put the pulp aside. Wash off my hands. I'm going to dress out my potato skins just a little bit first. And I'm going to start off with about 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. You can use regular paprika to dress out the insides of these Jazzy Potato Skins. Give them a little bit of fabulous taste. The smoked paprika is great because it does tend to give them just a little bit of a meaty taste, which is something you're kind of looking for when you're doing a dish like this. Since we don't have any meat in it, it kind of helps them along, gives them a little bit of pizzazz. Let's get the rest of my ingredients together. Put my potato skins aside. You know, I often talk about hiding veggies into very nutritious and delicious dishes, and this is a great opportunity. And I'm taking 1 cup of spinach, and I'm just gonna finely chop it. Let me just grab a knife. What I like to do when I'm chopping fine greens like this, just put them all in a big pile, kind of roll them all up, and then you're just gonna carefully slice them across. That's a very easy way to chop them finely. So I'm just gonna toss my 1 cup of finely chopped baby spinach right into the bowl. And then what else are we gonna add to this? Well, I've got 2 cups of diced cremini mushrooms, 1 cup of diced sweet red pepper, 1/3 cup of minced onion, 2 teaspoons of all-purpose seasoning, about 1/2 teaspoon of that smoked paprika, a little more, a little less, perfectly fine, 1 teaspoon of reduced sodium tamari, 1 teaspoon of olive oil. That is it. You're just going to toss them gently, but get them all coated with that olive oil, that smoked paprika, that all-purpose seasoning, that tamari. Really going to flavor this right up. As far as all-purpose seasoning goes, people often email me, they say, well, why do you use all-purpose seasoning? When I'm not cooking, I really like to check my social media and my emails to see if there's any questions that I can answer. This is a great question from Becky. Becky writes, I came across a recipe that calls for herbs, but it doesn't list what kind of herbs. What kind of herbs should I use? That's a great question, Becky. Well, you know, I love cooking with all-purpose seasoning and Italian seasoning. What I do is I go to my supermarket and I choose several kinds of all-purpose seasoning, several kinds of Italian seasoning, and I try them out on my husband and my friends, see what they like best. Then when I find a recipe that I'm either creating or a recipe like this that doesn't really specify what types of herbs or seasoning to use, I just use that all-purpose seasoning that I know my family and friends will enjoy. So that's a really great question, Becky. Thanks for asking. So do check out different kinds of all-purpose seasoning. Use a few of them. See which ones you like best. Keep them in your pantry. You can make delicious recipes. Create them yourself anytime you want. Let me get my scooper. This is the part of cooking I love. Take about 1/6 of your vegetable mixture and just start filling up these skins. Ooh, look how pretty those are looking already. They smell so good too with that smoked paprika. Ooh, this is so colorful. We're gonna have such a colorful spread today. Think about it. We're gonna have that beautiful casserole. We're gonna have these gorgeous Jazzy Potato Skins. We're gonna have Mom's fun turtle squares. And I have one more thing coming up in just a minute that you're also going to love. All right, these are beautiful. Talk about eating with the eyes first, but we're not done yet. I'm gonna tent these with a little foil. I'm gonna put them in the oven at 375 degrees for about 35 minutes or so. I'm gonna take off the foil and let them brown for about 15 minutes, add a little bit of vegan cheese, and they're gonna be ready to serve. We need one more little snack to serve today at our super party soiree. I'm doing my friend Sarah's very favorite snack that I make for her, and it's my sweet and salty snack almonds. So easy to do. We're gonna start off with 4 cups of raw almonds, and I've got a baking sheet all prepped out here with some unbleached parchment paper. And I'm just gonna spread these in an even layer over the bottom of the pan. We're gonna put them into a 400-degree oven for about 4 to 7 minutes until they're just slightly brown. Then I'm gonna toss them in a little maple sugar and tamari. That makes them a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salty. You do want to watch them while they're in the oven, because in 1 minute they can go from being slightly golden and oh so beautiful to a big burnt blob. So we're gonna put them in the oven, and then I'm gonna toss them in our flavorings, so stick around for that. Hot almonds coming through, coming through. Well, I have toasted these almonds for about 6 minutes. Sometimes they'll toast in 5 minutes. Sometimes they take 7 or 8 minutes. Just keep a close eye on them so they don't burn. But they are hot, 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 hot. So I'm gonna put them into a stainless steel bowl. That's what I recommend. Don't use glass for this. So now we're gonna add a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salty. For our sweet, we have 3 tablespoons of maple sugar. Ooh, yeah. Just toss that around. You wanna get these on here immediately when your almonds are hot, because the almonds are actually gonna kind of cook this maple sugar. And then I'm using 3 teaspoons of reduced sodium tamari. Right over the top, you're gonna hear that sizzle. That's how you know it's really getting incorporated. And toss that right away. What happens is that maple sugar, that tamari is just going to coat those almonds and basically make an instant candy coating. Now, I do warn, one time I did this, I left them on the counter, I left the room, and about a minute later I hear, oh my God! My husband had tried to eat them hot, like this. He doesn't test the temperature of food before he eats it. So I do recommend letting these tamari almonds cool down for at least 30 to 45 minutes before you serve them. So to get them to cool, you're just gonna lay them in a single layer on a room temperature baking sheet so they don't stick together. Let them cool for at least 30 minutes before you serve them. Let's check on our Jazzy Potato Skins. Take a little peek and see if these are ready yet. Woo, those are starting to look good. I'm gonna let them cook for another 10 to 15 minutes, put my vegan cheese on there,
And let them bake uncovered for another 5 to 7 minutes until the cheese melts.
and I'm gonna be ready to plate up this super party menu, and I get to taste it. Oh yeah. Touchdown! I have my super party menu all ready to taste, and I get to do the honors. Doesn't it just look absolutely spectacular? Well, I've got to start with my oven-baked chili. Comes out all caramely and smells absolutely delicious with that molasses, that ketchup, and all those different spices I put in there. I'm going to take myself a little scoop, more for good measure. All I did was bake it in the oven. It's so easy. Take a little taste. Wow. A little bit of sweet from that ketchup, that blackstrap molasses, all those different spices. That is spectacular. Now, here they are, the stars of my super party menu, and they're my Jazzy Potato Skins. I can't wait to take a taste of these. Oh, they're so beautiful. Get kind of all brown and crispy on the outside, and that vegan cheese melts over the top. The last couple of minutes, I put a little bit of that vegan cheese on there, but you don't have to. It's actually optional. I'm gonna give that a little taste. Just gonna pick it up with my fingers. Those skins got nice and crispy, and then we've got those mushrooms and those peppers and the different spices and those onions with that vegan cheese on the top. That is really, really good. And nobody's gonna know it's vegan unless you tell them. It's our little secret. And then sweet and salty almonds. They are sweet, they are salty. That maple sugar and that tamari on those almonds, fabulous after-school snack too. Last but not least, Mom's turtle cookies with that beautiful layer of chocolate all over the top. Oh my God. Wow, those cookies are absolutely amazing. Got that nice little crispy crust, the pecans in between, that caramel filling, and that beautiful chocolate on top. I just love it. I want to thank you so much for joining me for my super party menu. I think today I scored a true touchdown. The next time you're searching for recipes to please the food fans in your life, I hope you'll look to today's dishes. So until next time, be happy, be healthy, and be well from the Jazzy Vegetarian.
Visit our website at jazzyvegetarian.com to connect with Laura, see videos, find your favorite recipes, and more. Follow Laura on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Companion cookbooks to the Jazzy Vegetarian series contain beautiful full-color photos and include recipes featured each season.
This 10th anniversary edition companion cookbook features full-color photos, menu plans, and over 120 recipes.
For more information or to order, visit jazzyvegetarian.com.
Organic love, 100% natural. Yes, it is now. Organic love. I've got no additives or no preservatives. It's real intuitive. It's downright primitive. Organic love. Organic love is 100% natural. Yes, it is now.